Happy October 27th, everyone. Welcome to the Midwest Horror Network's October 2020 special, where we discuss all of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. Today we are talking about Treehouse of Horror 27 from season 28. And boy howdy was it a massive improvement over the last one.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
Indeed.
Yes. So we have not one, but two intros for this episode, which is a little weird, but we'll get into that.
Is it 2 intros or 4 segments?
It was 2 intros because the little credits, the developed by credits, don't show up until after the second one.
But that could have been part of the segment.
It wasn't. Exactly. We begin with the Simpson family going Christmas shopping in their Halloween costumes. And Bart asks why we're going Christmas shopping, and Homer replies, because in America, we do everything early. And he lifts up his, costume to reveal an Ivanka 2028 button. As the family is shopping for their Christmas tree, the Sideshow Bob music swells up, and Sideshow Bob appears because they needed to redeem themselves from last year's Halloween show. And they're just screaming, Sideshow Bob! And then one of the Kang and Kodos aliens show up, and then they scream, one of you guys! And then Frank Grimes' ghost appears, because they also need to redeem themselves from that as well from last year. Because they did have Frank Grimes in the weird intro,
that's right.
kind of. And so Sideshow Bob is saying, we, the Furious Four, are here to finally kill Homer Simpson. And Lisa is just like, wait, why did you say Furious Four? And it turns out that the leprechaun from Treehouse 12, I think it was, is also there. And so they're going to kill Homer. But Maggie has other plans. So then Clockwork Orange Maggie has a knife and just slices up Bob, the alien, and the leprechaun. And as Zach pointed out while we were watching that, this intro alone gives us more blood than the last Treehouse of Horror. And all their blood and slime spells the title Treehouse of Horror 27. And we have Frank Grimes' ghost, who is really mad that their evil plans keep getting foiled. And then this counter shows up in the middle of the screen going 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. And with each new number, another clip from that corresponding episode of The Simpsons shows up on the screen until it gets to 600, because this Treehouse of Horror was the 600th show of The Simpsons. And Frank Grimes says, in hell, they make you watch them all in a row.
When watching Zach's face when he heard that comment was fucking priceless.
If there was ever a torture for me, that would be it.
Good to know.
I'm pretty sure there are worse things in this world than watching The Simpsons.
I don't know. That seems pretty fucking bad.
I can think of several, but moving on.
Yeah, for you.
One man's heaven is another's hell.
Oh, my collared shirts! They're gone!
I'll survive.
My dress shoes! What will I ever do without my dress shoes?
Okay, but there's got to be a test record here.
The country club! No!
Watching The Last Jedi on repeat for 48 hours.
Oh,
Only
shit.
48? All right, so that is our first intro. And then for our second intro, so this year...
Can I pause? How can you have 2 intros? Like, after the first intro, it's no longer an intro.
It just is.
I fucking hate these people, man.
Moving on.
All right, so anyway, so this year, this second intro was like a little fun thing they did for people with VR glasses. And in fact, the title is so quick, but they call it Planet of the Couches. And there's like this little subtitle underneath that title that says, if you do not own VR glasses, you are missing nothing. And so basically it's just the family on the Planet of the Couches. It's basically a straight up spoof of Planet of the Apes. They complete with like the Statue of Liberty scene, except instead of the Statue of Liberty, it's the Lard Lad Donuts. And yeah, they just play through different scenes of Planet of the Apes, but with couches. End of intro.
Did they really do something with VR with this, or was that just...
Yeah, like it was released to like a VR thing. I don't know how VR works, so I assume there was some sort of download for it. Or something like that.
I assume it's just like you could just turn around and it's like, well, there's the lake.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So with that, let's get into our first segment. David, tell us about Dry Hard.
Well, I thought we were gonna get like a Die Hard kind of spoof or parody, but no, that's not.
Don't forget, it's
what
a
it was.
Simpson title.
True.
Are you still not hip to this theme here, David?
Yeah, I mean, that's still they're getting used to, but
We're 27 episodes in.
really. So yeah, we start off two parodies essentially, like Hunger Games and Mad Max, and I think there's another one in there somewhere.
There are a few references
Few
to
more
other
references.
post-apocalyptic movies in there, but Hunger Games and Fury Road are the two main ones.
Okay. So Springfield's in a drought essentially. It
A
hasn't-
drought of Chicago Cubs proportions.
Yeah.
What year was
Which
this?
is-
This
Yeah.
was 2016, if I
Seven-
remember correctly. The year they won.
But,
And this would have aired after they won.
but it was written. It was written the year before.
Which
So-
is the year where they came close.
They did not win.
Yeah.
Which, ironically enough, was supposed to be the year that they won, based on a Back to the Future prediction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely.
I bet this episode aired and they're just like, fuck.
Yeah, well, you can't predict them all
Yeah.
correctly.
So in this episode, the only person who has access to water is Mr. Burns. So he's the head villain, antagonist for
Dick.
whatever. Yeah.
I would like to point out, though, according to Wikipedia, the Cubs won on November 2nd. And this episode aired on October 16th.
Yeah, it was
What fucking timing.
That is pretty
good. And Cubs were like, you know what? Fuck you, Simpsons. We'll show you.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what?
They-
Good for the Cubs, man.
Yeah.
Telling the Simpsons to go fuck themselves.
I
Yep.
agree. Go Cubs.
So take that, Simpsons.
bet you Madden was fucking watching that episode. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking make sure we win.
Yeah, probably.
This is one prediction that they're not gonna fulfill. Fuck them.
So yeah, Mr. Burns is head villain. He's the only one that's got access to the water, and he's pretty much creating a game where
It's the Hunger Games.
it's the Hunger Games, but with the cutest kids. Because who wants to watch ugly kids die? According to Lenny.
It was either Lenny or
Lenny
Carl.
yeah. And then the winner or the last survivor gets to have a day
At his
swimming
water
at
park.
his water park or a reservoir, whatever. So Lisa's coach, or Lisa gets picked for that street for Evergreen
Terrace.
with a sign that said Never Green
Ah,
Terrace.
didn't catch that.
Yeah. So yeah, her coach is Homish.
Yeah.
Is that? What was
I
his
think
name?
that's a Hunger,
Homish.
I think that's a Hunger
Probably.
Games
I've
reference to
never
Woody
read the
Harrelson's
books
character.
or watched the.
Yeah.
So.
I don't remember what the hell that character's name was, but
I don't remember either.
It was drunk Woody Harrelson. That's
Pretty
all you
much.
need to
Yeah.
remember.
there you go.
Well,
With hair.
With
Homer's her coach. I thought at one point it was her bodyguard or something because he's during these games the one killing the kids for her. And then Lisa turns to the camera and tries to convince the town or whatever that they can overthrow Burns. She doesn't understand why they're fighting. So they get their heads out of their asses and realize that that's what they're gonna do. And at some point, I think Ned suggested to go.
To
Up
instead of violence, let's get him out of there by just voting at the polls.
Yeah, and then Barney was like, "Yeah, that's using your head, or we need your head, or that's using your head." And at some point, had beheaded him, and his head is in front of his truck.
Yeah.
So, and then we go into the Mad Max parody, where they're driving to Mr. Burns' location, and they blow up his dam or reservoir, and they realized that they fucked up because
They blew up the dam.
they blew up the fucking dam.
Like,
So
we should have left the water in the reservoir.
yeah,
Yeah,
They did not think that through.
yeah. Well, then it started to rain, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm happy." And then part 3 or part 4 of
That was part 3.
the segment appears, and then I guess it was like overflow, like a flood.
Yeah, it flooded everything.
It flooded everything, and Lisa was like, "It could be worse." And then part 4 showed up, and it was like an ice age, and she was like, "Me and my damn mouth." And then part 5, that was it.
That was it.
And the Ice Age, yep.
Yeah, which the part 2, part 3 thing, I found that kind of funny because that's making fun of like the 3rd and 4th Hunger Games, which were
Yeah.
based on
Yes.
the 3rd movie, 2-part movie thing. And like I remember when Hunger Games 3 Part 1 came out, I was like, you're literally just paying full price for half a movie there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. I thought this one was fun. There was a lot of little things that you skipped over. There was like life during the drought and a lot of disgusting things that people would do during that.
Yeah, good
Oh
God.
yeah.
There's a bunch of ridiculous
Well, because they
shit.
had no access to water.
Yeah, there was no water whatsoever.
Everyone was using different alternatives to stay cool and to take
Like
showers.
there's a woman selling pea-soaked diapers for $100.
And then Bo, while he was watching Burns do a weird, like, Janet Jackson or something.
It was the
Flashdance.
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 Yeah,
shit,
Burns
so-
was really wasting the water.
Yes.
And I can't remember who, but somebody while Burns was on the TV was like, "Why?" Oh, it was Krusty. Krusty said, "Why do we keep re-electing this guy?"
Yeah, now and Mo's watching that. He's bathing with a dog licking him.
Yep. And then there's another one that happened that I'll save for my most disturbing moment at the end of this.
The whole thing with the flash dance was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it was.
There was a couple funny segments in this episode. It was a nice refresher to the last one. It was nice to know there's some decent writers on this.
Yeah.
So
And then there was, of course, all the kids dying. Where when the games were beginning,
Yeah.
Burns was saying, "You're all on a pedestal. You have 10 seconds before it begins. Do not step off your pedestal." And you hear Ralph saying, "Don't step off what?" Boom, whee! And the little Ralph memorial comes up.
it was like what was his name, like Choo Choo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Choo Choo Chump,
Choo chump.
which is referencing the old Valentine. I choo choo choose you.
Oh,
That
God.
Lisa
Yeah.
gave Ralph way back when.
One of the episodes that I've actually watched.
And then Marge gets a haircut.
Yeah,
Which is referencing something for you.
And then I was like, oh, well, there's some shots fired. The Marge actually gets shot, part of her hair shot off, and she's like, I'm gonna try a new look. So she shoots off the rest of her hair and then dyes it bright orange, just like Lois. And I was like, oh, well, look at you being clever. And I was like, oh, that's a nice shots fired.
Oh yeah.
When did they do the crossover? I wonder if that was nearby this.
I don't know.
It
Yeah,
had to be over like the past 5 years, if I remember correctly.
it might have been right around this.
Yeah,
So,
definitely closer to this than where we are now.
Yeah,
so.
that was pretty fun. That was a nice little shots fired.
Actually, maybe even been before that. Now that I think about it, somewhere between 13 and
It was in the
16.
2010s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good 10-year span right there to figure it out. Yeah, it was a fun episode. It was funny. There was a lot of good stuff there. The changing of parts were really fucking funny.
Part 2. Mark, tell us about our second segment, BFF R.I.P.
So this is about Lisa's imaginary friend that's also a murderer. So Lisa is hanging out with one of her friends,
Jamie.
Jamie, I didn't know her name. She didn't really seem that important because she dies in like the first 30 seconds. So so Lisa's playing hide and seek, and then Jamie dies. Gets clipped by the lawnmower.
I'd say got more than just clipped. She got ran over by it.
Clipped is an Italian term meaning assassinated or taken out.
I don't speak Italian. So.
Sorry,
Italian American.
Didn't mean to get a little So she ends up getting taken out by lawnmower, death by lawnmower. So they end up at her funeral, and then I guess the two twins show up.
Sherry and Terry.
They decided they're going to be friends with Lisa, and then they die. So there seems to be a pattern going on. I think forgot who did somebody else die in between then?
The
No.
therapist.
Oh, the therapist, yes.
Yeah.
So she goes to the
Well,
therapist.
they have Sherry and Terry's funeral first, and Homer is just like, who would have thought a funeral for two kids would be such a downer?
Then Drew Carey makes a cameo because he thought he was going to work some other job, and then
Microsoft
Microsoft.
concert.
Yeah,
Or
Microsoft convention. So
convention,
he's like, now I'm working a funeral. That sucks. So she ends up going to therapy. Therapist ends up dying.
Because the therapist said, you can think of me as your best friend. And then a painting comes off the wall and just beheads her.
That says "get well" in the painting, which is hilarious. Or "be well" or something like that.
It was something inspirational.
Indeed. It's always nice to have good inspiration with your death. So Lisa is obviously devastated by this, and she eventually the cops get suspicious, so they come over there, and Chief Wiggum is trying to deduce what is going on. So she finds a little bit of nail polish, and she says, I haven't used that nail polish in years. And she talks about her former best friend, imaginary best friend that
she only wore the nail polish with her imaginary friend.
Correct. And then Chief Wiggum gets lost in an acronym. And he's like, what's his?
He was like, so when Lisa said Rachel, Chief Wiggum was like, who's Rachel? And don't tell me it's some sort of computer acronym like something, like he's saying something that starts with the R, A, so on and so forth. And like halfway through, he gets lost and he's like, Lou, help me out here. Oh no, you got yourself into this acronym. You can get yourself out.
Nothing like having a good quality linguist joke in this. What even Zach is laughing at. So she ends up getting up the next day to go to school, walks on the school bus, and of course nobody wants to sit to her, except of course good old Milhouse
with his puppy Goo Goo lunchbox.
Oh God,
Milhouse.
You know what? I'm kind of okay that he died because it's probably a better existence than living a Milhouse life. Her imaginary friend appears behind her, and then she figures out who's been murdering everybody, her imaginary friend. And then Milhouse gets taken out by, speaking of Italian takeouts, by a plastic bag. He gets suffocated by a plastic bag. And I love Chief Wiggum. He's like, not even you can get out of this. It's literally got his face imprinted inside of the plastic bag. Like plastic bags never lie. Except for some reason.
Except for when it says "easy to tear" on the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Never is. So Lisa gets escorted into jail. Then her best friend, imaginary best friend, ends up talking to her again, and somehow through the course of the conversation, she figures out that her mom is now her best friend. So she's gonna go kill her mom, and she's like, I can't do anything. And then Bart has tunnels underneath him because apparently he's been making drug runs for people inside of the prison.
Yeah, they just get really excited when I show up. I mean, I don't know what's in them, but
and hey, everybody needs a side job.
It's a good side job.
So they end up showing Marge cooking in the kitchen, the best friend showing up. And then a joke that Brandon died. It broke Brandon. Mm-hmm. The imaginary best friend threw a knife, and then Snowball, Snowball 2 or Snowball 1?
2.
Jumped. I can't believe I know that, and I'm not even that big of a Simpsons fan that it was Snowball 2. So it jumps through the air, and then the knife gets taken out by the knife, and then perfectly lands inside the trash can, where Homer rounds up the trash and takes it out. It's perfect timing. It cuts back to Bart and Lisa, and they've somehow smuggled into a bucket full of harmonicas for
Used harmonicas.
used prison harmonicas. Which is a very old timey joke. But it still works. So and then I love it that they like by the power of imagination she could just go ahead and conjure up a motorcycle.
Yeah, that was weird.
Which Homer and Bart tells her to imagine a motorcycle, and she says, "I can't do that." Well, you imagined somebody who's actually killing people. Fair point. And then that's when she imagines the motorcycle.
And was it run on unicorn?
Unicorn smiles.
Yeah.
Unicorn smiles.
Bart's just like, you ruined everything.
And he's wearing a girl power helmet.
Yep.
In the front basket, like E.T.
To be fair, she made him wear that.
Yeah.
That is true. The safety first. So they finally get back home, and and they're gonna go ahead and stop the imaginary best friend from murdering Marge, and then Homer. She's like, well, no one will believe you, and then Homer shows up drunk, and he's like, I believe you, because I am wasted. Then he conjures up his old best friend, who, of course, fucking Homer's imaginary best friend is a fucking hot dog.
Wearing like one of those old-timey army helmets.
With the fucking music and everything, like, good lord, man.
And then she I guess she takes him out, she zips him back up and puts him into shoves him into the microwave. Puts on 60 Minutes. He's like, you gotta poke holes in me first.
And the hot dog man explodes.
Yes, indeed. And then once again the imaginary friend's trying to kill Marge, and then Lisa says, "Well, I'm just gonna imagine you as something as your worst nightmare, your mother," and then transforms into that, and she's like, you're never gonna go to college, so that's your worst nightmare. It's like you're gonna be married to an orthodontist.
No, it was like Lisa was like, I don't need you. I'll make friends in college. And as the imaginary friend is disappearing, she says, you really think your dad's going to pay for college?
Oh.
Now who's imagining things?
Oh my God. And then they all laugh and go into a sigh. But the whole thing, though, with the dentist, that was funny. Like, we're going to go on vacation and visit my parents.
Every
We're going
year.
on vacation with his parents.
To visit his parents every year. And then the episode ends.
Well, it ends with Homer saying goodbye to his childhood friend by eating him out of the microwave.
And then the imaginary friend comes back up out of the bowl and says, you're still my best friend. Get back in there so
As
I can
an
eat
imaginary friend, I can never die. Get back in my stomach. Yes, sir.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
That
And
was
then the
pretty
episode
nasty.
ends. It's pretty funny moments.
Yeah.
The whole poke holes in me before I put them in the microwave was pretty funny.
I can see it too, because I am wasted. That was funny. Of course, the cat getting the knife while diving into the garbage can.
I don't know why
Zach weren't laughing at that.
I don't know why that got you so hard.
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
Dude, your cat came out, looked at the screen, and was like, nah, fuck this, I'm out.
Hey, he's not gonna talk to you when you go in the bedroom.
Mr. Kitty was like, I would not do that for you. You're on your own, bro.
It's like, bitch, you stole my blanket.
I guess I should explain why Zach said that. So my cat, Mr. Kitty, I have this blue blanket that I have for him, and he likes to lay down on it. That's his favorite spot, is on the blue blanket. It's on my bed next to my pillow, so he can sleep like right next to me. And yeah, the blue blanket is his favorite spot. A few days ago, I was doing laundry and sheets. I was pretty much doing everything because this was after we filmed Living Nightmares 4. So I was like, okay, I've been away for a few days. This is a good time to just do a mass laundry, everything all at once. And so Mr. Kitty, he was lying on the bed, but he was lying on the other side of the bed, not on the blue blanket. And as soon as I pick up the blue blanket, he just immediately gets up, looks at me, and just goes, meow. Like his whole world was crumbling down.
Nice.
I'm just like, no, I'm watching this for you.
He doesn't want you to watch it. They
Yeah,
like
cats
it that
don't give
way.
a damn.
This is my support blanket.
He's trying to cope. Jesus.
Ugh.
His roommate, it's Brandon.
The
It's like, I need this.
But yeah, I thought this was a really fun one.
yeah, this is fun. There's a lot of fun moments in it. The it was creative. It had a good a good story, beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
It was a very very well structured and well paced one. Had good animation, a couple really funny jokes. Overall pretty good segment.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. Not the cat killing, but it was.
Hey, I like cats, but funny is funny.
Yeah.
Meh.
Well, now you got to talk about 3.
Zach, tell us about our third segment, MoeFinger.
Okay. No, I can't do any voices. All right, so Bart is running down an alleyway or something along
From the
those
bullies.
lines. Yeah, from those 3 bully kids because they're assholes. So he runs into this building. It's assumably the back of Moe's bar. He gets cornered. Then Moe comes out, locks them all in, and says, yeah, you're all trapped in here with me now. And then proceeds to beat the living shit out of each of the kids who say they're 13 years old and that you beat up minors. Takes Bart, brings him over to the front of the bar, unloads a secret entrance to a secret agent headquarters.
After walking past how many pickled eggs?
A lot
lot.
of pickled eggs.
Yeah, there were a lot of pickled eggs for reasons I'll never understand. But yeah, so Moe is apparently a secret agent, part of a massive, something. And, yeah, it turns out Homer was one of their best agents, and he passed away on a mission, which is why he disappeared from Bart's life. So now they want Bart to become an agent. They've had his eye on him and all that stuff. So yeah, Bart's an
It's
agent now.
the plot of Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yep. And Moe really likes making out with Homer's picture.
Yeah, I
It's-
don't know why.
It's, yeah.
It was kind of creepy.
It was weird. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Let's go with weird.
So yeah, somebody's been buying out essentially all the world's beer, so they have to go investigate. The dude's holding a free concert at some random stadium.
Duff Stadium.
Yeah, Duff Stadium, and so they go infiltrate, even though it's free for everyone.
With Steely Dan performing,
Yeah.
because that's all Steely Dan can do now is just do free concerts.
No, he can't. He can't even do that. It's illegal.
I mean, well, before all the stuff,
Yeah.
even then he couldn't really sell out.
So they get there, they head up to the main office, and it's locked behind the latest in finger scanning technology. So Moe gets his toolbox and proceeds to beat the shit out of it, and that opens the door. Goes in, it turns out it is Homer who's been buying all the world's beer, and he's now become super evil.
Yep, he's essentially Blofeld from the James Bond series now.
Yes.
And Bart asks him how he got that cool scar.
And the cat proceeds to scratch out his other eye.
Yep.
And then I directly look at Brandon and Zach both being cat owners. And they're like, yeah, that checks out.
Homer's grand plan is to destroy the world with a supervolcano that will cover the world in ever-expanding lava, but he wants to acquire all the world's beer and drink while he does it.
To celebrate.
Yeah. That is his grand plan.
Not a great plan.
Needless to say, it fails. He hypnotizes all the stadium people, tries to get them to kill all the agents.
Which, how he got everybody to work for him was he drugged all the snacks at the concert. And when he announced it, Steely Dan was like, drugs at a Steely Dan concert? I never would have thought.
Yeah, everybody proceeds to kill a bunch of random people, then Bart kills Homer at the end, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Bart got a little bit of carnage in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was obviously it's a pretty decent recreation of the church scene from
Kingsman.
Yeah.
This segment was very just meh. Wasn't
It
bad.
did kind of go through the motions.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It's just kind of
Then
on that flat line.
Ended with a spoof of the Goldfinger theme song, but with kind of the graphics of Skyfall.
Oh God, that's right.
Singing about how they've done 600 episodes.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
And there was a lot of crappy shows that came and went.
During that time.
That was a one
including
funny
Futurama.
Yeah, I was
And the
like,
critic.
oh.
Here's the thing
No.
about Futurama. Futurama is perfect because it ended well, but it fucking ended.
Well, they put Futurama in there because that's another Matt Groening
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest was Future Seth MacFarlane show.
Untitled Seth MacFarlane Show,
Yeah.
2017.
Fucking great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was probably the funniest section of that little
Yeah.
whole
Oh, yeah.
rendition. Besides that, it was kind
Yeah,
of
the rest of it was just like
It wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
it was kind of on autopilot.
I'm gonna relegate this to the middle of the pack of forgettable episodes.
Oh, absolutely.
Or I'm sorry, forgettable segments.
Yeah.
The when it comes to that, yeah, I think this is just gonna be. I mean, I really like The Kingsman. I love the movie, but I think this is gonna be one of those things. It's like it's parody, it's whatever. It was
Yeah.
it was there.
We've seen worse parodies. We've seen better ones.
Oh, we absolutely have seen worse parodies.
But yeah, that's all I have. The thoughts I really have on it. It's very middle of the road.
Yeah.
Middle of the road. Yeah, I'll probably forget it.
I already did.
It was entertaining enough as I was watching it.
But it was funny. It had some funny moments in there, like when Moe was killing the kids. It's like you know,
Death by
you do
toaster.
realize we're 13, right?
The cat scratching thing was funny as well.
Yeah.
And then the cat getting over, and then also the jetpack was pretty funny too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like every year my jetpacks get less powerful.
Yeah, about that.
Homer, you're just fat.
Exactly.
All right, so what are your guys' picks for funniest moment? I know what mine is, and that's the cat getting the knife in the back and landing in the trash can just for Homer to nonchalantly take out the garbage.
I think the different parts. Because I think Zach and I laughed at the same exact time, and that whole bit in the first episode was pretty fucking funny.
I got two of them. Flash dance thing with Mr.
Yeah,
Burns was funny.
That was funny.
And then the future Untitled Seth MacFarlane for like crappiest future films or shows to come was pretty freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Scariest, grossest, most violent, bloodiest, darkest moment.
Intro.
Like
I said, there was more blood in that intro
Yeah, with
than
all
there
the
was
blood and
in
slime.
Yeah.
I would say Moe getting licked by a puppy was pretty fucking disgusting.
You didn't think the diapers going on everybody's
Yeah.
face and head was more disgusting?
That was also pretty fucking
Look,
disgusting.
it's one thing to have a dog lick you. It's another thing to take a baby's piss and shit and shove it in your face.
It was on top of the head. It was a hat.
Yeah.
But that didn't
And
make
he
it-
knows what baby piss and shit is like.
I'm probably gonna have to go with the diaper one. That was pretty gross.
Yeah, I give you that.
I chose violent because it was an option.
So for me, and you guys heard me get a reaction from this one, it was when Milhouse slid on the dry
Oh yeah. Ooh.
And
That was just painful.
the reason why that one's over the edge for me
You've done that, haven't you?
no, I have a story that reminds me of. So back when my family lived in Virginia, the suburbs of Vienna, Virginia, right across the street from us, there was this family, all right, with two little kids. And just every day, the mother would just yell and scream at her kids when they're playing outside. And it's like, we don't know what the kids are like. We felt sorry for the kids. Everybody on that street felt sorry for those two kids. All right. So then one day, it's in the morning. My brother is having his breakfast. He's getting ready to go to work. And he sees the mother and her two kids outside in the front yard. And there's a slip and slide. And the kids are crying. And the mother's just yelling at them. My brother is just like, something seems off right here, but I don't know what it is. And as I'm watching him and I'm watching them across the street as well, like I'm with him, and all of a sudden I see it in his face. He just realizes what is wrong with this picture. The mother put the slip and slide on the sidewalk.
Oh no! What the fuck is the matter with people?
A lot. People, please, man. If you cannot take care of your kids, do not fucking
Yeah.
have them.
Oh, what the fuck?
I wonder if that could be put in the section of child abuse.
It should.
Actually, no.
If
Not
it
child
isn't,
abuse.
it should.
No. That would be negligence.
The
Still, either way, if it isn't, it should.
felony counter right
Negligence. No, that technically that would just be stupidity and negligence. That wouldn't be child abuse, at least I don't think. But
so
yeah,
when I saw Millhouse go through that dry slip inside, just instantly, I haven't thought about that occurrence in years, but that memory just came rushing back as soon as I saw that.
So another question: did she even have the water on?
I don't know. Like
I feel like she'd be dumb enough to forget that it's just like, oh yeah, you just lay it down and you just slide, right? No.
Yeah, we were never that stupid. We'd put other shit in there like.
No, we did stupid shit because one, we knew it was stupid shit, and two, it'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude, we would do the other things though, like put out like soap and like Tide and shit like that, because you would go really far with Tide. Shit. Like laundry detergent was fucking priceless.
Yeah, back in our day,
launch your ass.
Hang up, Mark. Back in our day, we slid on our Tide. We weren't dumb enough to eat it.
Yeah. We used that shit to launch ourselves.
Well, back in our day,
we're stupid enough to play in chemicals, and not eat them.
Yeah, funny.
All right.
I hate the world.
So I'm really sorry for telling you guys that story, but at the same time, I'm not sorry.
There are a lot of mixed emotions. I feel disappointed in people and pissed.
It's a terrible, terrible story.
It is.
But again, that was, 2005 or before?
Well, either way, that woman was stupid.
Yep.
All
right. What is everybody's least favorite segment of this episode? For me, it's the third one.
3.
I'm going to definitely go with 3, just for the reasons I said. Forgettable.
It was the most autopilot one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with the third one.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was okay.
It wasn't just, I don't know. It was there, like Mark said. It was like right in the middle. There was nothing too exciting about it. It had its moments with the jokes, but other than that, it wasn't much.
It was still head and shoulders above. The worst one in this episode is still better than the best one from the last episode.
Yeah.
Dude, it's better than the entirety of the last episode.
That kind of goes without saying with what I just said, but okay.
Anyway.
All right. Favorite segment for this one?
2.
Second one? Why do you go with the second one?
Violent.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the second one. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun. I think it was different than a lot of the other episodes. And I don't remember a lot of tree houses that were solely focusing on Lisa.
Yeah, or at least focusing on Lisa, but she's not ruining everything for everybody else.
Correct. I mean, the entire world.
Yeah,
like true. She did in the previous segment.
Yeah, they actually gave her character.
Correct. Yeah, it was way more of a, like, this is a Lisa segment, a Lisa episode.
She still ruins Bart's fun, but,
I mean, his prison smuggling operation?
I wouldn't say she ruined the operation. That's
just her being a little sister.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, like wearing the pink helmet.
He lost all his street cred with all of his prison buddies.
You literally take the fun out of everything.
I'm going to go with the first one as my favorite just because of the animation, and then they really did well with the look of like the dry spot.
Yeah, they really did do a good job with that.
So I'm gonna pick first.
This is a really tough one between the first and second for me. I'm gonna go with the second, and what gives that one just a little bit of an edge for me is that one being an original story, not parodying anything like Hunger Games and Fury Road, even though the first one was a very good parody of those two things. I feel like the second one had more of its own voice to stand on. Okay. And I highly enjoyed both of them, so it's like I gotta go with technicalities for which one I'm gonna pick as my favorite. And also that one did have my funniest moment of the show.
Fair enough.
All right. So, thank you all for listening to today's discussion about Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 27. Be sure to listen to our regular podcast, the Nightmares Podcast, wherever podcasts are available. And be sure to look us up on our social media at Midwest Horror Network on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Slasher.
And, of course, if you are listening to this on YouTube, give that like button a stab and that subscribe button a smash, and then click that little dingy bell to be notified every time we drop amazing content right here on the Midwest Horror Network. Thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.
Happy October 27th, everyone.